Hey everybody, ISW here for the Geek Network, and today we are going to tell you all about Adam, manager of the Geek Channel's deepest, darkest secrets. Oh yeah, and we're reviewing Gloom, the card game. Gloom is a tabletop card game created by the designer Keith Baker and published by Atlas Games. The game is for 2 to 4 players who each are given control of an eccentric family. Now, the object of the game is to lower the self-worth points of the player's own family cards. So your own family, you're trying to lower your self-worth. That causes negative effects, eventually killing them. At the same time, positive points are played on opponents' family members. So if I'm playing against you, I'm going to play positive events on you to boost your self-worth. Now, after one family is completely killed off, the player with the lowest family value, total points of all dead family members, is the winner of the game. Now, here's the first important thing that I noticed about the cards in Gloom. They're transparent. You can see right through the cards. Well, mostly, they're opaque and they stack up. And the reason for that is if you play a card on somebody else's family, then they can play a card on that card, and so on and so forth, and build up the family value, or they can lower the family value, whichever one works out. So that's a really cool thing. I've never played with transparent cards before, and this actually had transparent cards, so it was really cool. Moving on to the cards themselves, there are 110 total cards. Now they're divided into 4 types of cards: character cards, modifier cards, untimely death cards, and event cards. Now, the character cards are the only one that will feature artwork. They're pretty much entirely colored cards. They're not transparent, and they're going to show 4 different families and 4 different members of those families. So each player is going to have 4 members of a family, and there's going to be 4 families. I like to say 4 a lot. And it's going to tell a little bit about them. Just a little bit about the family. So the next type of cards are the modifier cards, and these stack on top of the character cards. They have 3 different spaces for modifiers and 1 space for attributes. Now, they also sometimes include special effects that always have color text. Now, the modifiers are sometimes good and sometimes bad, and these are each clearly marked: red for negative, white for neutral, and black for positive, which makes it extremely easy to get a general sense of how the character is doing from across the table. Now, unfortunately, counting up the totals is a bit harder because the font used on the modifiers is kind of hard to read if you're looking at it from far away. You can see it around 5 feet away, but anything more than that, it tends to start getting a little bit hard to read. Now, moving on to the untimely death cards. Likewise, they go right on top of the characters. Simple enough. Now, the way that character modifier and untimely death card combine on the table, it kind of blocks some of the modifiers, kind of not. So you kind of got to make sure all the cards are stacked perfectly. But when it works, it looks so cool. And what the untimely death cards do is just what they say: they kill that player. Simple enough. Then finally, last but not least, you have the event cards. And again, these cards are just played for special effects on your characters. And again, they go right into it. Now, an element of the game that was introduced by the game designer Greg Kostikin, I hope I pronounced that name right, was the optional aspect of storytelling with your characters. So you would talk about your characters whenever an event was played. you would talk about that event and make up a story that went along with it. When you played a modifier, you would make up a story that went with it. And honestly, you can end up telling beautiful, awesome stories. And it's really a great aspect of this game. And that part right there is why I love to play Gloom. Like I said, Gloom is one of my favorite card games to play. It's light, it's random, and it also includes some well-designed game mechanics that were clearly carefully thought out and definitely play well. The only particular notable complaint in the components is the font. The cards are very beautiful, don't get me wrong. However, the font is hard to read, and if you don't have everything lined up perfectly, it's hard to see what modifiers are in play. Overall, I give this game a 4 out of 5 stars. You can pick this game up at Amazon for about $24.99. However, it's usually on sale for $16-17 plus shipping and handling. That's all the time that we have for today on Tabletop Review. Before we go though, I want to stress to you guys that you should check out Adam's new network, geek.net, or geek!net. It's the Geek Network. Sign up if you haven't already. It's for all geeky things, toys, board games, nerd caves, everything. And he's got some wonderful people helping him along the way. So again, my name's been iSubby for the Geek Network. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and we'll see you guys here next time on Tabletop Review. Hey, didn't see enough Tabletop Review? Go ahead and click on the video beneath me to see more Tabletop Review. And click on this video for just awesome geek stuff. And if you want to be my friend on Twitter, you can follow me at Alcohol Arcade.